When someone says texture or resource pack, the things that come to mind are the ones that make Minecraft beautiful, make building easier and more unique, and the ones which destroy your CPU by making the game hyper-realistic. But going through the site directories, sites that advertise and offer downloads for resource packs and texture packs, there's a large amount that are made by amateurs, or just joke ones that are usually made in like 5 minutes time. They usually start off as a joke, but sometimes some of these texture packs have just as many downloads as some of the top ones made by professionals. In this video, I'm going to be looking at some of the resource packs, like the image shown, and try my best to review and actually play with them. Cubic, a resource pack that gained popularity from Reddit recently after a user completed the whole game by using this single resource pack. What makes this resource pack challenging is that it takes out every single texture of the game and replaces it with a white block with the literal word of it. So you can imagine when caving, lava could be anywhere. When we load it into the game, you can tell just how insane this really is. I haven't moved from my intro and yet I've already forgotten what everything is. The trees are quite obvious, but when you get down to the ground and you just say let's go into a cave, you kind of just are overwhelmed, like just look how that water. But the lava doesn't have that benefit. The lava is pure white, so you would have to make sure that every block you check when you go down into a cave is actually lava. So I've done some more exploring and I've come across a mine shaft, and obviously when you play this game long enough you already know what these blocks are and it's not much of a mystery, but it is very hard when you come around corners and it suddenly turns into a cave. You have to double check and make sure everything is like that, for example. I'm obviously in creative mode, but that still did scare me a little bit, not gonna lie. But this resource pack, it doesn't make the game beautiful. It's not a PvP or building resource pack. It's just a random texture pack or resource pack. I'm still in the old days of calling it a resource pack, as you might tell. I'm going to do that a lot. But it makes the game more interesting. These little things make the game challenging, and it keeps people on for longer and just trying out new things. And this is definitely one of the cooler resource packs, and I'm not going to talk badly on this one at all, but there are some bad ones coming up for sure. MS Painted is exactly what it says on the name. It is made in Paint and it is designed like MS Paint. I downloaded this resource pack having low expectations with the low download count in relative terms, but it's actually an insanely awesome resource pack. It actually doesn't really fit this video's theme, but I kind of just wanted to show it off anyway because it has like such high detail in the sense that everything is retextured that I could see. It's actually pretty well made. And it was updated 29 days ago and made by a guy called Stride. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. When we load this resource pack into the game, we're greeted by a custom sun to custom grass and custom bedrock. Everything has been customized as far as I can tell. I was kind of just gonna download it and joke about the fact that everything has a derpy little face or like low poly texture, but just scrolling through the inventory alone, you can see how much effort and detail has gone into this. Even if I just look at these mobs here, if I just start breaking it because it's not really relevant anymore. This is retextured, something died there. The shulker has been retextured, and which is a newish kind of thing in texture pack kind of terms. The creeper has a custom face that's actually quite cool. The cows are derpy and the sheep, well look at that sheep, what can you say about that? That's just hilarious in itself. This is definitely actually a really good texture pack, and I probably shouldn't even have it in this video. We're back in the mine shaft because I feel like it's a good place to test and just walk around resource packs. You can test the lighting and just, everyone knows what a mine shaft looks like, so it's good to test it. We're actually going to get a lot of noise from these spiders because that's just the mob of the most annoying noise ever made. But yeah, it's actually a genuinely good resource pack and I probably will start using it. Even caving seems to be more fun with it on. Let's take a look at the creeper again. But yeah, this started out as like a joke, but it got made into a resource pack that has a lot of downloads, and I think there actually might be another site with the same resource pack, but on a more popular download site that has a lot more downloads. Because this has been done before, but I haven't seen one done to this scale. And then there's this one, still in the same cave, the same boring cave now that I don't have a cool texture pack. But this one is called Dio, and all it's done, as far as I can tell, there's no other retextured. It's just drawn a face on a creeper and some other mobs that I'll get into in a sec. So this is the kind of resource pack I was on about, the ones that just do this. But hey, I shouldn't trash talk of resource packs too much. At the end of the day, I don't make any. And so the guy doing this to sheep must have some motive, and he must get some enjoyment out of it. And I believe this actually does have quite a few downloads considering, and oh hey look, the face The sun has a face as well. So there you go. Let's see if the skeleton has a remap. And the skeleton is dying and has the face. Does the horse? So he hasn't done the horse. I wonder if he's did the ghast. The ghast is over here. So the ghast does actually have a face. And this was on the logo now that I remember. It was advertised with a face. The zombie pigman I spawned one earlier. And it does have a face. So this is kind of the example of the resource packs you won't see on the front page, but they exist. Oh Lord, we pray to you, Nicolas Cage, and we pray the person who made this resource pack never makes one ever again. And like all great things, a Nicolas Cage resource pack is inevitable. And this one was made quite long ago. It was made in version 1.12 and actually has been a thing in the game for a while. I mean, I remember like 8 years ago seeing a Nicolas Cage son that was twice the size of this. The guy actually managed to make it bigger than it actually was. And I'm surprised to see that this is actually kind of somewhat maintained. There hasn't been an update for a while, but some of the newer blocks does actually have a Nicolas Cage photo. We have it on apples and coal. We even have it on the tools we use. And I don't think anyone in 2019 is actually going to be using this one because this is such an ancient one. It doesn't get many downloads. And this is just a perfect example of a resource pack that doesn't have any use beyond the little gimmick that, well, if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, maybe you love him as an actor, we'll see. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of the items, a lot of the legacy items, so none of the new ones will have his face planted on it. But this is just a classic example, like the turtles definitely won't. This is back in this is back in 12.2 and all those little versions. So I wonder if he's retextured the lava. No, he hasn't. He hasn't gone that far with the Nicolas Cage lava. But resources like this actually must take somewhat of a decent amount of time. It's not a trivial thing to like put his face everywhere. Like this must have been actually done in Photoshop or Paint or something, some editing tool. This wasn't just something that a guy quickly made in 5 minutes. A lot of effort actually went into this one. Ironically, because it doesn't look like it was. Resource link down in the description below. And now we're on the Cheriton resource pack. It has over 1,700 views since being uploaded 2 months ago. And what does it do? Does it add more resources? Does it make the game more high definition or easier to play? In fact, no. What it does is, the all-important, when you spawn a skeleton and you name it Cheriton, it adds a chicken onto its head. So this is a very crucial resource pack, as you can tell. It's one that's given me hours of joy. It's made me play the game longer. And if I do a couple of them in a row, you'll just see my point. It is actually an amazing resource pack. And I'm not being sarcastic, this is actually a great feature I feel like Mojang should add. You can have like so much functionality with just the dynamic of a chicken and a skeleton put together. And I can even put a creeper there and just see what happens. Nothing. It is literally just a chicken on a skeleton with over 1,700 views and over 400 downloads already within 2 months. So now I'm looking at the Cheriton, but I thought I'd just bring up a quick subject. These resource packs aren't exactly bad. Just because they have one little thing doesn't mean they're any less of a resource pack. I mean, I don't make resource packs, but this actually does require Optifine, this particular one. So there must have been some effort or thought that went into a Cheriton like that. Goodbye, my friend. Oops. So I wouldn't say this is necessarily bad. It's only coming in this video purely because the ones that you can tell have hundreds of hours go into them, they overshadow these like little things, and you'd never really see this. Like this is so far down the page of a site that's linked in the description. I think it's Planet Minecraft. This was literally like on page 20. You have to scroll so far down. People don't see these things. And it's actually a fun little resource pack for someone to make on Reddit or something like that. So these resource packs aren't necessarily bad. Of course they're not. They're just quirky, and they get overshadowed by the ones that have millions of downloads and the ones that make it into top 10 resource packs for builders, PvPers, and for modders and creators. So I would give these a chance. I feel like the MS Paint one specifically actually had a really good thing, but that was so low on the ratings that I feel like if more people looked at other resource packs that weren't always in the top 10s, people might get some more enjoyment out of these little quirky ones. This is the LEGO resource pack, but it can't run on my CPU. I literally have one of the best gaming computers in the world, and this can't run it. It's rendering so slow, and I just can't review it. This is just a resource pack I downloaded, and just by looking at it, you can see there's so much more depth to it. Each single grass block has 4 little cubes attached to it, and if you know a little bit about Minecraft, it does it by dimensions, and each one of those little squares calculates. I think my game just broke, and this is the resource pack. Get it if you have a supercomputer. Useless. And with my chosen army, I feel like this might be a good place to end with the video. If you liked it, leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what my next one should be. I might do a video on the most poorly rated resource packs. So the resource packs that have quite a few downloads but just a lot of hate, and just see why these generate a lot of hate, probably because they don't work in the latest versions, I'd guess. But there might be some ones that are just purely hysterical and just so badly made that somehow got exposure. So that'll be in the next video. I might do some seed videos. Do let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll probably improve the quality and the voicing as I go along. I haven't done one of these in a while. So thanks again, and hope to see you in the next one.